Hi folks, so today I've come and I've set up a little bit of a stealth drop rig in a different area of the Paddon Park. The woodlands in the Paddon Park stretch for about 1.5 miles and on average it's about half a mile wide. In the previous locations we've been recording in sessile oak woodlands, open on steep ground. Today I've come all the way to the other end of the woods to a place called Fachwen. Now over here the woods are totally different. There are some oaks, but there are also pines and a lot of silver birch and holly, as you can see here. Now holly's really handy for setting up a stealth rig, so I've found a really nice location right here. There's a holly tree, there's two really big pines, there's another pine over there. There's more holly trees around here, like big ones. And what I've done is I've set up the clippies on these two tiny little stumpy branches on an old rotten pine tree. And coming down, I've brought the wires together on a little knobble there. And I'm actually going to hang the drop rig on this, behind this holly. So at the moment the kit is down here, the recorder's running, power bank's at 95, I think you can see that. So we're going to get a totally different type of recording here, because this survey is actually about the whole of the Paddon Park, but I'd imagine you could take recordings here and take recordings down the other end, and I reckon you would get a difference. But for this year, it's the whole Paddon Park that's taken into account. It's what's known as a qualitative study. We're just looking to see what's here. Now this is the second recording this month, so I might actually continue with that, do one down one end and the other over here, so that's 2 a month at this location or thereabouts. Now I did hear some voices over there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack these up and I'll show you how I camouflage it, or kind of camouflage it, before I leave. Just making sure I've pressed hold. It's still running, power bank's still on. Let's close that up. Just double check that power bank. Yep, we're on. So I'll double check again because the cable pulled a bit. Yep, still on. Okay folks, so this is how I'm going to camouflage this. We've got the clippies up there, the cables are coming down the tree, and there's a little knobble there, so I've hung the bag off of that. But there is a natural holly branch that comes across. So the further you go away from this, the more the holly branch will kind of break up the shape of the bag. And also because we're in holly, all around me are here, and there's a rhododendron kind of bush here. It's quite well hidden. And I've just noticed over there there's quite a few scratchings, so we might get badgers running around here. Now I think there's a lot of rocks here with gaps. There's no badgers in this bit, but I think there may be some a little bit further over there. Now there is a road and footpath just at the top of there. There's like a wall. I don't know whether you can see it through the trees there. Well, that kind of runs down. So this is in a great place where you can't really see the actual bag from the road. And the Clippies, I don't know, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid if they saw them from a distance. I don't think they'd look like anything. I'm quite confident that this is still going to be here tomorrow. So I better give us the time now at the moment, the actual time, so you can calculate the dusk and the dawn. The time is now 16:19 exactly. Paddon Park, Fachwen recording. Okay folks, so I'm going to head off now and I'll see you back here in the morning. Right folks, I'm walking into the drop rig now. It's about another mile further along here. I just want to show you the difference with the types of woodland that we're recording in for the first lot of recordings which I've done, and then this one that we're doing now, which is down in a different type of woodland, but it's all the same woods. So here, as you can see, it's all stunted oaks. The ground is really how do you say, thin soil, so the trees are all stunted, and the brush, which is kind of heather and a little bit of moss, is all thin, so it doesn't grow that well here. So the geology under here is slate, and there's just a thin covering of soil over the top. Another point about this area of the woods is that it's in the mountains. So if you have a look here, you can see over a lake, and there's kind of Snowdon up there in the background. And over here, it's overcast a lot, it rains a lot, the weather is much worse than down the other end of the woods where we're going, where it's actually quite sunny, but it's a little way out of the mountains, heading towards kind of like the flat farming lands. And as we see when we go down there now, the trees and the plants are different. So I'm going to follow this path a little bit further up. We go into a ravine, and then I just go up the other side of the hill and down to where my drop rig is, and that's about a mile from here. Right, let's head off. So I've made it over to the other side, and I'm going to show you a big difference here now. See the rocks here, they're all volcanic. Over the other side, the rock there is slate, which is sedimentary. So that makes a huge difference. Remember, the trees over there were one type, stunted oaks. Now over this side, we have silver birch, we have a pine, more silver birch, there's an oak, huge pines. Now our drop rig is down in this lot. So in here it's under huge pines. And you can see holly trees, loads of holly trees. But let's have a look at the undergrowth. Remember, over the other side it was really thin, things didn't really grow there. Or if it did, it was quite small. So over here, the plants are much more varied. As you can see, there's actually a lot of green here. So things grow much better here. So I'm thinking, like, the difference between the two ends with plants are like two different micro-environments. Now we're in the same woods, we're by the same lake. I think you may be able to see the lake through the trees. It's the same lake, we're about a mile apart, but everything's different. Geology and the fauna. So I'd imagine there may be some differences with the birds. So if I keep doing a recording over this side as well as over the other side, by the end of the year we might be able to notice a difference. Right, I'm going to get into the drop rig now. Okay folks, here we are down at the drop rig. We're in our little holly grove. As you can see, the bag's well camouflaged up against that tree. It doesn't look as if anything has tried to pull the clippies off. It's all intact. Now let's see if it's still switched on. Power bank's still on, which means the recorder will still be on. Yep, still recording. Excellent. Right, I'll pack this stuff up now. I'll put the hour before dawn and dusk in the Paddon Park playlist, and I'll leave any interesting snippets at the end of this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.